Hello, my loves. Hello, members. I am so excited to be on again. This is the third time this month. We're on a roll. Oh my goodness. All right, I'm just going to give it 1 second. Okay. I just got to take a sip. So there's been some interesting things happening with that I have noticed. And this morning I tapped in to like, why is all this happening? Why is all this coming up? And what does it mean? And I want to kind of jump in and share it with you because I found it very interesting and it made a lot of sense for at least what I've been experiencing. And so I'll be interested to see what you guys have been experiencing because I know I'm not the only one. I've actually talked to people who are experiencing similar things. So lately, over the past couple of weeks, especially this past week, I have had a lot of dreams where I was connecting within those dreams my exes, like my ex-husbands, my children, just very like um, my ex-in-laws, like just different people who I have had relationships with. And it's been very interesting because the way the dreams have been playing out, it was like I can't even really. It's so hard to explain that makes sense for what I've been experiencing. But it was almost like I was given another perspective of that relationship, another viewpoint or vantage point, and went through an experience in a different way with the same energy of an experience I had in the relationship, if you follow that. And I've been really intrigued by why is this coming up? Like, am I just trying to resolve some things? And I feel like that's always the case. I feel like in our dream state, we're always using it as an opportunity to heal. I feel like we do, and I don't feel like I know we do a ton of healing in our dream space. And we are allowed to play things out and bring things into resolution that we don't necessarily have to play out in human form. Because even though those relationships are quote unquote over for most part, for most of them, and I'm not in contact with a lot of those people, it doesn't mean that I won't continue to call in new relationships or new experiences that hold the same energy as an attempt to reconcile it, right? So if we can reconcile it in our dream space, we can save ourselves a lot of frustration and time and energy. So I've been having a lot of that happen. And I've also been noticing a lot of changes with my physical body. And when this has happened before, um, meaning like excessive bloating, water retention, um, like pains in my physical bones, like my bones were aching, like they were I don't know, shedding almost. Like it's so hard to articulate and explain some of the sensations that I have as we ascend, right? So we all have these weird sensations, but having these really deep pains, and those pains for me are a lactic acid release. So it's literally a release of acidic energy from my bones to be flushed out. And so over the past 2 weeks, I have, oh my God, I wish you guys could see the cat is in the window. He probably wants to be let in, but he will have to wait. Anyway, I wish you guys could see this. So the lactic acid is when we repress anger or energy or put too much emotion or pressure and like suppress it so far that it goes into our bones. So when it's released, we have a physical feeling in our bones. It's a lactic acid release. And a lot of times people only experience that like if they overwork out, right? They're over pressurizing and stressing their muscles. So when we stress or put too much repression of energy, it gets stored in our bones. And when we release it, it feels painful. That's a lactic acid release. So I've been having these sensations coming up with my body, changes in my diet, changes in my appetite. And so the past couple of weeks, I've been doing hot and cold showers. I've been doing breath work every other day. I've been working out every other day. Like I've really upped my game in the amount of lemon water that I drink and just doing all the things to support my body, taking magnesium glycinate, um, zinc, things that I know that will help support my body flushing this out, right? And really helping to move this along. So I was intuitively already doing all of that, but this morning I really sat with like what's happening. And so what I know to be true and what I'm receiving is that we are a it's interesting to say it this way, but this is the way that I heard it was we're about to go through a karmic reevaluation. And reevaluation means to look at something differently, right? So I've already been doing that. So I'm like, about to. Isn't that what I've just been doing? I've literally, that makes so much sense because I've been looking at these relationships from my past. And some of these people I'm still in relationship with, like my last ex husband, my daughter. I'm still having interactions with some of these people. So why is it we're about to? But leading up to the event, if we want to label it a one-time event, which I feel like it's really hard to put anything as that static, a lot of us have been going through that. So for me, it's been happening a lot in my dreams. It's also been happening in my physical reality where I'm having interactions with people or things are coming to the surface with family members and things that I need to really look at and get a different perspective on. Things with my daughter that's giving me the perspective of my mother and the perspective of when I was a child. So it's like all of these things are coming up, giving me all these different angles of the situations and circumstances that I've had from my past, right? Which is your karma, things that you've already done that have not been resolved. That's what karma is: unresolved trauma, unresolved situations, right? And that's why we come back to Earth and we take a scoop of karma. It's not always all of ours, but we take a scoop of karma and we say, these are the things I want to look at again from a different perspective in an attempt to bring them into resolution or integration. That is what the guides say is karma. So it makes sense that that's what I've been doing this past week. Honestly, a little bit before that too. But I talked about this because in another video, I can't remember, how October was an excavation, right? We were literally bringing things to the surface, and November is about looking at all the things that we bought. So we bringing all the boxes from our unconscious basement into our living room, and now we're unpacking them. And so this past week and a half, I've been unpacking a lot of boxes, and I've been looking at all of these things. I have been looking at all of these relationships from different angles and perspectives. So there's going to come a point where, and this is the point where we're coming into a karmic evaluation, is we're going to get to a point where the energy completely shifts. And so what I have been doing, and like what I did this morning, was I did a cord cutting, right? And a cord cutting, all it is, and it's something that I can tell you guys right now, it's super simple. It's not anything that you need somebody to do for you. It's just in meditation. Whoever you are, you're no longer choosing to have a relationship with them, or you're no longer choosing to play that dynamic out, that or repeat that pattern or repeat that program or repeat that cycle, whatever it is with whatever person. Visualize them in front of you. Say what you need to say. And this is all done in your imagination, right? But this is all energy. It's all very real. It's like you're communicating with their higher self, and they have a choice. They can receive it or they can deny it. That's their choice to make. Got a lot of activity going on my computer today. So visualize them in front of you. For those of you who've never done this before, I know a lot of you in here have, but visualize that person in front of you. Say your piece. Say what you need to say. Say how you feel. Express yourself. Don't make anything you say or do wrong. Just express yourself. Get it out in your mind. You can do it even on paper. You can do it like another thing that I like to do is turn the camera on and record it. You can always delete it. Like you don't have to show anybody this. And just get it out. What you need to say your piece, share your feelings, share your perspective. And then give them an opportunity to respond to you. Here's the thing with this. Again, they can receive and respond from their higher self only. So they can respond back and they may choose not to. Either way is okay. So if you receive nothing back from them, that's okay. Don't worry about it. When you're done saying your piece and listening to them if they choose to respond, I want you to notice that there's going to be an energetic cord from your belly button to their belly button. And I want you to see it that way, because we always have, anytime we're invested in any kind of relationship or have been, we have created an energetic cord to them. And it's our job to choose to say, I am energetically cutting this toxic connection. It's very important. I'm being reminded to tell you, this does not mean that this person will fall away out of your life. It could. They could all of a sudden abruptly be like, I don't want to talk to you anymore, or just kind of drift away. That could happen, but it doesn't mean it will happen. What it's saying is I choose to no longer have this type of relationship with this person. The current relationship that we have, the dynamic, the current programs we're running, the current patterns we're running, the current way we speak to each other, the current way we do things is not working. It's toxic to both of us. Because if it's toxic for you, it's also toxic for them. And we don't often see it that way, but it's the truth. So what you're doing is you're ending that type of relationship now, and you're giving yourself a new opportunity for a new relationship to be born from this. Okay. So this means that maybe that person doesn't drift away or doesn't fall away or doesn't abruptly leave, but instead they decide to come and talk to you, or you decide to talk to them, and you bring it into reconciliation in real life, and you decide to move forward on a new note, right? On a new page, and having a respectful discussion about healthy boundaries and the way that you've been doing things and the type of relationship that you want to have. So this is where we're at, right? So have this thing where you see this energetic cord between you and them, and cut it. So I cut it. I see a crystal knife in my hand and I cut it from me. It's not about cutting their cord. They have that choice as well. They can hold on to a cord that isn't attached to anybody, right? That's how we get a lot of entanglements. But you cut it right at your belly button. So this morning, I didn't even plan to do this cord cutting. After I had my interaction with this person, I immediately noticed that I was intuitively going right to cut the cord. So I cut the cord, and then I did something that I haven't done in the past, which was I solderized the area where the cord was attached to me. I soldered it. And I just had this ball of light in my hand, and I was just soldering it. It didn't hurt. Soldering where the cord was connected to me, so that it could never be reattached. I wanted to close it off completely. And it felt very good. And I watched that person fall away, and the cord with it. And now I have let go of that. Like that person, the relationship dynamic doesn't mean that there's still not going to be human things I need to process. But now I'm going to be given a choice, right? I'm going to be given a choice. How do I want to move forward? Do I want to speak this truth in a different way? Because now I've let go of the pain, I've let go of the story. Now I get to choose to have this conversation from an empowered place and see if we can take steps forward on a new page, right? So again, coming back to what I said about November, do I want to keep it? Do I want to recycle it, right? Reuse it as fuel, right? Do I want to change the energy by having this conversation and starting anew, or do I want to let it go? And so I haven't decided yet with this one particular person which of those I'm going to do. I feel like it's not the time yet for me to make that decision. But once I do, I will know how to proceed, right? So right now I'm not doing anything. I'm sitting with what I need to sit with. So I feel like in the next day or two, even honestly, probably the next 72 hours, we're going to have this massive shift. And this karmic reevaluation is going to be up, where we're going to need to make a decision on some things in our life, some patterns, beliefs. It's not just always people. So it's patterns, it's beliefs, it's programs you've been running, it's patterns in your ancestral line, like I've talked about yesterday and in the previous member video. and relationships. And that relationship can be with a person, it can be with a place, it can be with a thing. So it could even be with somebody who's already passed away, who's already in the ethereal plane. So it's really about you looking at what's been coming up for you. But when this shift happens, and the reason why it's important that this shift does happen, because it's going to happen, we're stepping into our celestial bodies coming online. And this is where I have been experiencing the changes in my physical body, why I've been having all these weird things. I'm like, gosh, I'm really bloated. I'm holding a lot of water right now. I'm having certain things come up, and I'm doing all these things to support my body. And that was my sign, like something else is happening in the energetic planes, that is, there's something big happening. And I've noticed that I'm craving certain things and certain cravings because again, we're always building our dictionary of reading our body and reading the energy. So when I crave certain things, I know that it's because my body needs additional resources from those foods because of what's happening inside of me. And so our celestial bodies are about to come online. And so that's a quite a process. It doesn't just like you wake up and you're like, oh, my celestial body's here. But the celestial body is really tapping you into more of your multidimensionality. It's really tapping you into the remembrance that you are currently residing in multiple time space realities in an effort to assist you in this now moment. And you in this now moment is assisting you in those moments, right? And so there's this exchange. But through this, I feel like and they're showing me like these connections. There's gonna be this remembrance and this new connection and new information and these new aha moments. So for some, they're really gonna step more into channeling, or some are just gonna have these crazy aha moments or crazy remembrance, or they're gonna feel more at peace because they really start to remember and see that this is all an illusion. And while it feels really effing real a lot of the time, it's all an illusion that we've created to have an experience. And so our celestial bodies carry a lot of galactic activations, higher light codes of remembrance. And so that is super exciting. But, I talked about this in October, how our bodies are going to be going through major changes over the next few months. So this all lines up with what the guides have been telling me and how our celestial body is going to be coming online. So really look at how your body has been changing over the last week or two, and really drop it in the comments and let me know how your body's been changing. But how has your body been changing? And what have you been doing to support those changes? To support your body, not necessarily, because some of you might be like, oh, I've gained some weight. I need to diet, or I'm lost a lot of weight. I need to eat, or I'm tired, or I have all this energy. Like, what's been happening in your physical body that's like, where did this come from? Or all of a sudden you notice it. And what are you doing to support it? So again, things that you can do, just broad spectrum ascension symptoms with these kind of shifts, is you can up your intake of lemon or lime water. I put Himalayan rock salt in my lemon and lime water now. And I drink 32 ounces. So I don't know why I do it this way. You don't have to do it this way, but this is the way I do it. I do 16 ounces of lemon water with Himalayan salt. And then I down that, and then I do lime water. I don't know why I switched the fruit, but it's just what I was drawn to do with Himalayan salt. So I drink 32 ounces of alkaline water, because the lemon and the lime alkaline the water. They open your cells and they help flush it out. And then the Himalayan salt helps with the restructuring of the cell. So that's really important. I also drink mud water in the morning. There is a link in my description box below if you want to try mud water. Mud water, and I've been drinking this for a couple of years. I quit drinking coffee because of how acidic it was. And I love coffee. And I know a lot of people who love coffee. And if you drink coffee and that's what you want to drink, by all means, I'm not going to judge you. I still drink coffee every now and then. But coffee, I noticed, or coffee has a lot of mold in it. And this has been studied. It's not just something I pulled out from the guides or anything. Like, this has been studied. Coffee holds a lot of mold. And I noticed that when I quit drinking coffee, I started to really feel a lot better in my body. And I drank decaf because caffeine actually dehydrates you. And if you have anxiety, it makes you more wired anyway. but coffee is super acidic. And I used to even drink low acid coffee and it still wasn't enough. And acid is not, that kind of acid is not good for your body in large quantities, right? So coffee, the bean itself, has superpowers, but the way that it's processed and the way that it sits, the beans sit, that it's turned into something that is not good for us. So the last couple of years I drink mud water, and mud water is made with mushrooms and cacao, turmeric, Himalayan salt, cinnamon. Now, if you have a lot of imbalances in your gut, you can feel nauseous if you drink it. So it takes a little while because this is really goes into the gut, and that's your brain, right? Your gut brain really affects your mental health. So I know when I'm holding a lot of negative or repressed energy in my gut, I'll get nauseous when I drink it again. But it really helps to clean out your gut and your gut biome. And mushrooms, fungi in general, are very close to the human DNA. There's very small differences. And mushrooms are actually closer to human DNA than it is to plant DNA. So that's a fun fact. So anyway, that's something I do. You can also microdose mushrooms. If you want more information about that, reach out to me and I can send you to somebody who's reliable, who's good. What else do? I do hot, cold showers. I used to do sauna and then go into the cold shower. You can do Kundalini yoga. You can do breath work. You can just add and change your diet by listening to what your body is craving. Even if it's maybe something that you wouldn't normally eat. If your body's craving it, you really need to get in tune with your body and be like, why does my body want this? Is it because I'm emotionally eating? Is it because I'm stressed? Is it because I don't feel joy? Or if it's not any of those things, you can be like, okay, my body just needs this for some reason to support it. And maybe you'll eat it for a couple of days and then you won't need it anymore, right? So really start communicating with your body and asking your body, what do you need from me to support you? Okay. Again, I take magnesium glycinate. Sometimes I switch it out for magnesium malate. Both of those work really well with your bones, anxiety, sleep. I take zinc, and I take a product called NAC. NAC really helps with the liver. Oh my goodness. Hush. Sorry about that. So those are, oh, someone's at the door. I'm so sorry. Hold on. Hi.
This is a resident site?
No,
Hold it up. It's next to it.
I don't know. I don't live here. I'm just staying here for a little while for someone else. This is Carol's house.
I think I want to come home now.
It is really strange when someone comes to the door and tries to just walk in, and it's not even my house. I'm like, you're not coming in this house. Anyway, sorry about that. Okay, so anyway, these are just some of the things. You don't have to take any of my recommendations. These are the things that I do that help to support my body. I have, over the past week, my diet has changed. I'm back to eating. I haven't been wanting to eat in the morning, which has been a weird adjustment because I usually have an apple every morning, and I've been noticing that my body's just not wanting it. And I've been eating later. So I've been having my smoothie late in the afternoon, like 3 o'clock, and it's been all berries, like blackberries, raspberries, strawberries, blueberries, cranberries, super abundant in berries, and then pineapple, which is also a berry. Most people don't know that. And so many distractions today. And then having rice and chicken for dinner. And I don't usually eat a lot of chicken. So I've been noticing that I've been wanting chicken and I've been wanting rice. All of the things I've been eating are super digestible except for the chicken, but I have a feeling the chicken has a lot of B vitamins. So I feel like that's probably why I'm craving that. Anyway, bunch of mumbo jumbo, but that's what I've been doing to support my body. And so really look at what your body's been changing and what's been happening in your body, maybe even in your sleep, your energy level, and really start to ask yourself, what can you do to support your body? So I just wanted to come on here. I felt really called to come on here with you guys and let you guys know kind of what I just got this morning. Because I think it will be beneficial for you guys and help. So let me know how you guys have been experiencing this. And don't forget, you have your November support post still. So if you're having any challenges, any things are happening, you're curious about something, you need help moving through something, that is your spot to just comment below the post and the guides will choose and we will do videos on it. Okay. So I love you guys. And I can't wait to hear what you guys have been experiencing. See you next time.